Hello, welcome to Cura Urbi. Cura Urbi is a summer service learning program that allows students from Cristo Jesuit High School and Loyola Blakefield to come together to answer one question: how can we care for Baltimore City?
We've been discussing learning about 4 subjects: drugs and suicide, housing, environmental science, and lead paint and asbestos. Now let's hand it over to Joy to talk about environmental issues.
Be more aware of your environment. To think that your environment is in 100% the best shape is an exaggeration. We need to improve more on our grass areas, air, and water. Whoa! Don't litter. According to the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, litter is polluting our harbor water. Because of this, we need more trash bins, more trash wheels, green spaces, and more wetlands.
Thanks, Joy, for helping us learn about the environmental state of Baltimore.
Now let's hand it over to Cristo for some information on drugs and suicide.
This is Cristo, and I'm doing a special report on drugs and suicide. Some things we should be aware about drugs is no one ever starts off using drugs and become an addict. They start off using gateway drugs like marijuana and then look for a bigger high, so they use like harder drugs like a heroin or something. People get hooked on drugs because of injuries, like in car accidents or they tear muscle or something like that. They're prescribed a certain drug, like a painkiller or something like that. They also use drugs for being stressed out at a party. We want to have fun, so they'll use the drug. Peer pressure, that's the main reason, and like just wanting to do it like for experience. The Baltimore City Health Department knows that even though drugs are illegal, they know that it is hard to stop because it's a disease. So they try to stop the spread of diseases with their needle exchange. So there's like buses or like vans set up around that have different needles. So instead of people like using the needle and shooting up and passing it on, instead of them passing on diseases and things like that, they can go get clean needles. Fentanyl is coming hard now, killing people because it is very strong. Even a small amount can kill you, and it's killing people even more because these drug dealers that are selling it don't know how to mix it properly and things like that. This drug is very strong, and it should only be like dealt by a doctor prescribed to do it. And the Baltimore City Health Department has a bad batch line for people to call when they receive fentanyl in their drug. Drugs and suicide are related because they both are used to get away from stress, pain, and emotions. The Baltimore City Health Department works upstream to try to stop suicide. So before they can get too late and these kids are already feeling depressed, they'll try to work up and try to catch it before it gets to that and they can start having thoughts of suicide. And people's peers play a huge part in how they feel or desire to do something. That's it.
Thank you, Cristo.
Now let's learn about the dangers of lead paint and asbestos with John and Tyler.
Hi, I'm John and this is Tyler. We're here today on the scene talking about lead paint and asbestos. Lead paint is a very common problem in Baltimore City. We see lead paint all over the place. Lead paint can be in any house built before 1975, and it can be found in places such as windowsills and stairways. It's especially common in a chipped off form. The powder that comes off of lead paint can stunt child's development, and it's just nasty stuff. You can either paint over it or take it out of the house entirely as 2 ways of dealing with it.
So now with asbestos can be found in tiles, roof, attics, pipes, anything you can really think of. It's everywhere in the house. Asbestos is in pre-1975 houses, so anything built before then, you most likely have asbestos. Asbestos exposure can lead to lung cancer and mesothelioma. Mesothelioma is a lung cancer that will lead to death in due time. According to research, there were 76 places in Baltimore that have had asbestos, such as Johns Hopkins University, Johns Hopkins Hospital, steel industries, Coca-Cola. So as you can see, asbestos is almost everywhere in Baltimore, and stuff that you can do to treat it is clear it out of your house, but you gotta be very careful when you deal with asbestos that you don't get exposed to it, because you'll lead to lung cancer and mesothelioma.
Thank you for watching Cura Urbi News.
Know your city.